Hello, everyone. Professor Carla speaking. Thank you for coming back here for our reading meetings. Okay. Today I brought a book that is very known, very popular, that was made into movies, into TV series, fanfic, and so everybody already heard of it sometimes in his or her life. And so, why did I bring this book that is very popular? Because I would like to invite you today to see it from a different perspective or with different lenses. So that's the purpose. And the book I'm talking about is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is a bilingual edition. I have here the title in Portuguese of this nice edition. Okay, and and here there is also the cover of 2000s movie that was very famous. And there is a curiosity about that. That movie has two endings, okay? One European ending that goes to that part in which Elizabeth Bennet's father gave her consent to marry, and the American ending, that is the one when Darcy and Elizabeth are already married. Okay, so you have this now. And here I also brought the DVD with Colin Firth, that was the BBC series that was very famous in the 90s. Okay, so what is this invitation I want to make here today? Is that it will come through some questions. Did you know, or what if I told you that being a woman that at that time was a hard thing, and that so in order to survive, women should try to marry well, I mean, survive financially. If they could not marry, they couldn't do anything to save their lives. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it's not exaggeration actually. So if my father died and I could not inherit money because I was a woman, so a distant relative would be the one to inherit the money. Have you ever thought of that? So in this case, would Mrs. Bennet be exaggerating, or would she be the cleverest woman ever, so that she was trying to protect herself and her daughters from, I don't know, a life of completely poverty? Who knows? The other thing, could Darcy and Bingley really be friends? I mean, one was an aristocrat, the other one was a bourgeois. So what were they doing together? Those are contradictions the book bring to provoke us, to make us investigate and see how this book that talks about love, and it does, about marriage, is also talking about society at that time, a time in which money is changing hands from aristocracy to bourgeoisie. Have you ever thought of that? So there are lots of clues of that inside the book, and I invite you to go there and look for them so that you can have this more comprehensive idea of this book. And I brought two of them here for you, and I hope you can have that in mind. I could say that I am provoking you with this one. The opening paragraphs. It's a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However little known the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood, this truth is so well fixed in the minds of the surrounding families that it is considered the rightful property of someone or other of their daughters. "My dear Mr. Bennet," said his lady to him one day, "have you heard that Netherfield Park is let at last?" "What's his name?" "Bingley." "Is he married or single?" "Oh, single, my dear, to be sure. A single man of large fortune, 4 or 5 thousand a year. What a fine things for our girls!" That's the first one. That's funny, a funny passage, but also a truth universally acknowledged. What is this? That is fixed in people's minds? What is this? I invite you to think about that. In the final paragraph here, I mean, the paragraph when Elizabeth and Darcy are talking and she asks him when he started loving her because she was such she spoke her mind all the time and she was such a different woman, and he answers, "For the liveliness of your mind, I did. For the liveliness of your mind, I did. For your intelligence. Could a man at that time actually fall in love with a woman because of her intelligence? So those are questions I leave here for you. And I hope you go back to this book, to the movies, and have fun and see it with different lenses. Thank you, Jane Austen, for writing this book, this lovely book. Have fun. See you guys. Bye-bye.